Hello, hello. Happy Monday. So excited to be with you all. My name is Brittany Young. I am a soul activating coach. I help women leave their BS stories behind and step fully into sovereignty consciousness while up-leveling their spiritual game and mindset. And today I wanted to talk about what spirituality actually is, why it's important, and how it shows up in our health and wellness. Dominic and I are, we've had countless conversations around spirituality versus religion, why religion still exists, why spirituality is so important, why religion is important to most, and how this all correlates back to your own body, presence of mind in health and wellness in that space. So, general definition of what is spirituality. Spirituality involves the recognition of a feeling or a sense of inner knowing that there's something greater, a higher power than yourself, something more than this human experience. So it's a sensory, it's a feeling, it's a seeing, it's believing, and that piece is divinity. So divine in nature. This is opening up the heart to see how essential the aspect of true spirituality actually is. And then when it comes to spirituality, it's an individual practice, right? We tend to get together when it comes to spirituality. Avery's with me, and collaborate on ideas. But we do choose to embody a spiritual practice for ourselves, right? And we choose this individually. Whereas religion is part of a dogma, right? Part of organized beliefs. Spirituality is about peace and purpose. Religion is an organized, book that we all follow and read scripture and get together and talk about it. And spirituality is more comprised about your personal practices, such as meditation, writing out mantras, affirmations, even getting into the gym and lifting 300 plus pounds off the ground as a deadlift. It is about giving birth, having that spiritual experience. It's about coming out of the depths of addiction. You can see Avery's little playscape back there. Why is spirituality important? Well, out of religion, right, we have birthed this beautiful practice of spirituality. There's different teachers out there that you yourself might resonate when it comes to spirituality. Why is it important for you to understand what it is? It gives you this peace, this wholeness and balance among all the senses, the physical senses, the emotional senses, social senses, mental senses, which are all aspects of our daily lives, right? However, many people use this pathway to bypass suffering and bypass struggles. So, I'm spiritual, I don't suffer. And this can be painful. This can be very frightening. So I told a little bit about my story. You can hear her. I suffered from addiction. Looking back, I don't think that it was truly suffering. I think it was meant to happen in order for me to have a spiritual experience. It was part of my awakening. It's a whole nother topic. Spiritual awakening is a whole nother topic. But how can you be fully in the presence of that spiritual peace, of that spiritual knowing, giving yourself that purpose, that inner knowing of purpose, right? So when we talk about how spirituality shows up in our lifting experiences, in our gym experiences, in our food, our health and wellness, our overall arching of well-being. From my own personal experience of having a baby, I often go into and did while pregnant a meditative state, right? Meditative consciousness. I'm gonna grab baby. And when we think about real life people, when we think about real life experiences, as such as having a baby or losing our job or the craziness that's going on right now between the election and Rona and the destruction of what's going on around the world, right? We can choose, we get to choose to have a personal experience through all of it. There always will be somebody trying to dictate the external for you. There will always be somebody trying to dictate the external experience for you. You get to choose what kind of experience you are going to have on this planet internally. So having a baby, right? That was my own personal choice and my own personal experience. And it was a very spiritual experience once I saw the baby. I had the C-section, so I had to be mentally prepared for that. I went in asking my higher power to bless me with a healthy birth, to bless me with a smooth transition from having this child to then motherhood, because there is no book. There's only life experiences to which we get to choose to be part of, right? We can choose suffering or we can choose the other road. And the other road is having that spiritual experience. So how does this relate to your overall well-being, health, and wellness? Well, if you go into that meditative state of consciousness, we start to shift our subconscious way of thinking. You can have the glasses, sure. And that means, so if I am going to deadlift, for instance, if I'm going to pick up, thank you, 300 plus pounds off the ground, I am going to look at that weight the same way that I looked at it many moons ago of surrendering to alcohol. I'm going to walk away. First thing, walk away for a moment. Ask myself, why is this important to lift 300 plus pounds off the ground? Why is it important for me? Okay, I'm just, glancing at my notes of what I wrote down. Why is it important for me to pick this weight up off the ground? And then after I figure that out, I'm going to tap back into my body. And instead of leading with any nervous energy, I am then going to decide to focus on the highest vibration of positive energy. And it's not about expectation. It is about giving myself the satisfaction and that positive energy to have a beautiful experience, right? So I place myself in this mindset. And then what I do is I visualize. And when I go into visualization, I can imagine I lift this weight off the ground. I'm high-fiving people. I'm having a great time. I'm laughing and smiling, the whole thing. I can hear people cheering me on. After that happens, in my meditative state, I then go back to the deadlift and I lift it off the ground, knowing farewell, I just created my own reality. I just stepped fully into that subconscious way of being and brought it into my conscious state. Okay. So when we're in the gym or doing a workout, or you're setting yourself up for a 100-day squat challenge and 100 squats in 100 days, right? Day one, you do 100 squats. The next day, you're like, I don't know if I can do 100 squats. I don't know if my body is capable of even performing. I can't move. I can't sit down to go to the bathroom. I can't. So we start making all these excuses. We then go into suffering, and it becomes very cyclical. But if we start to envision and placing ourselves in that imaginative state of it's already done, therein lies the spiritual experience of itself. I have created my own reality. I have created experience. How does that higher power show up? Well, when things get tough, when things appear as fear, false evidence appearing real, right? We can step into that mindset. We have a choice to step into that mindset. Chewing on these is not going to help your teeth. She's choosing to do this, right? Don't poke your eye. That's okay. She's having her own experience. It's all part of the spiritual downloads, the higher power asking you, how do you want to show up? How do you want to experience life today? So try to picture yourself, visualize yourself doing that last rep, stepping into that 100 squats in 100 days in that challenge. What is it going to take in order for you to maximize that experience? And then when it comes to food, the most important thing for me, because we all have our own experiences, is remembering that food in front of us is actually present. And food doesn't know if it's good or bad. Food doesn't know if it's right or wrong. Okay. So we often, let's say we get a piece of pizza. We're dying for pizza. We're on keto, but we're dying for pizza, right? That piece of pizza doesn't know how it's fueling your body. All it knows is it's a piece of pizza. So what expectations are you placing on that food, number one? And two, are you present with your food? Or are you answering the phone, dealing with a child, kids screaming, or is someone trying to get your attention? Is the mailman ringing the door? What's happening in that moment for you not to be present in the here and the now? It's the same about weightlifting. It's the same about getting your butt into the gym. And it's the same about listening into that inner knowing, having that spiritual experience. Let me know if this is resonating. Just drop a comment. Because going back to the food, all we want is for that food to give us nourishment. Subconsciously, we're like, oh my gosh, this piece of pizza is so bad for me, right? Or, oh my gosh, I'm not supposed to be eating this piece of cake because I'm on a diet. Whatever it is. Food knows nothing but nourishment, right? It gives us blissful joy, and it deserves, once it hits our taste buds, that it deserves to be in that power of presence. This may seem like a weird concept. Buddha talked about this. He said, are you staying present with every piece that you have going on inside of you? So are you staying present when you drink out of your water bottle? Are you staying present when you're on the phone with somebody? Or are you distracted? doing a million things. So are you staying present with your food? Are you staying present with your health and well-being? To recap, spirituality is not about suffering, but about the energetic exchange that we have between, yes, higher power and our higher self. So during this beautiful human experience that you and I have been gifted, we are given the choice of how spirituality plays a huge part in our lives. And you are given the opportunity of which practices and modalities work for you. There is no one size fits all. There's a one size that fits you. So thank you so much for letting me be here with you all. We appreciate you, right? And we see you, we hear you, we love you, right? And we'll see you on the other side. Bye.